Okay, hi everybody. I decided, since I miss you a lot and we aren't doing our marriage class, and I don't really feel comfortable doing it online because I want it to be more of a discussion in the round with you, I thought I would just send you another action item, the assignments that I always give you at the end of class. And that will give you something to work on while you're all quarantined and doing this social distancing thing. Also remember, as hard as it is day after day to keep our relationships good and not going stir crazy with your families, the relationships we have in our life are the most important things. I used this quote last time in our lesson on fostering unity and equality. It's by Gordon B. Hinckley. He said, "I am confident that when we stand before the bar of God, there will be little mention of how much wealth we accumulated in life or of any honors which we may have achieved, but there will be searching questions about our domestic relations." So we have a long month here or 2 months or who knows how long to be working on those relationships and making them sweeter and better. So I'm going to give you some fun stuff to work on tonight. This is one I've been really excited to give for a long time. And I actually got this idea from my sister, Pamela, my youngest sister, a few months, actually it was probably last year, a long time ago. I'm going to instruct you first about something that they do in the Mosaic Law in the Old Testament. It was called the sabbatical year, or in other words, the 7th year. The Hebrew word for it is Shemitah, which I'm probably saying wrong, but Shemitah means literally to release, or a releasing. And in that sabbatical year, the Lord told the house of Israel that, number one, they should leave their lands lying fallow. In other words, not to cultivate them. And he promised bountiful blessings of produce the years preceding and after if they did that, so that the land could rest in that 7th year, just like a Sabbath, which also is a 7th. The second thing he asked them to do is to release others of their brethren, in other words, those of the lineage of Israel, from any debts on the 7th year. And the third thing, and probably most hard, I would imagine, is that they had to release those of their lineage from slavery or as servants. Sometimes they became indentured to each other because of debts that a father or something had. And so on a 7th year, those slaves that were House of Israel were released. So my sister she was on her 14th year of marriage, and she decided to do this great thing for her husband, that she was going to release him from all of his debts to her by forgiving him in their 14th year of marriage. So she, very conscientiously, every time something that he did bothered her, she just automatically said in her head, "I forgive you. I forgive you." And she also didn't hold against him any things that he'd done wrong and in the past. Like we tend to do in marriage, we kind of hold these grudges up and a running list of everything that in every way they've injured us. So anyway, I just thought it was really, really a sweet idea, but at the same time I went home after she told me that kind of laughing and thinking, if we can forgive that easy, why don't we do that all the time? And I don't think it's easy. I think forgiveness is very, very hard. That's why we say to forgive is divine, because it is something God does, but we do not do it very easily. It's a very Christ-like act. But he wouldn't ask us to forgive our fellow men all the time if we weren't able to do it. So I want to encourage you to do a Shemitah. You can, if you think it's going to be too tough, just work on it for 1 week. For 1 week, give your spouse or your companion the gift of forgiving them of everything that they do, and just try it out. And then if you feel like you can do it longer, extend that. You might feel that you can set your goal for a month and release them for a month. Or if you're really, really brave, you can even try the whole year of 2020 and say, I'm going to release them from everything this year and just start over again, anew on our marriage. Because that's what we all want. We want to be forgiven too. And it's how we can become most like the Savior. So good luck on your action item. Ponder this. Share it with other people in the ward if you feel like it's a great thing that has helped you or that you were inspired by. And hopefully we can all improve our love relationships during this time of trial. And I love you. Bye-bye.